Welcome to our introduction episode of Brunch with Besties, where our purpose is to heal and help others while we heal and help ourselves. So in this podcast, we will provide diverse opinions on love, life, and career. So I'm going to go ahead and start off and introduce myself. I am Sherry. I am a supply-based analyst in the automotive industry. And one of the things that I love to do is ride. So if you have a motorcycle and you want to ride with me, or you want me to get on the back,
hey,
let me know.
I was thinking about how you ride. Hey.
Yes.
I am Lakeisha, and I am a mental health therapist. Something fun about me, I love to cook. So I'm definitely open to always trying new recipes and having my kids and family try those.
Yeah. And it's good, too, y'all.
I'm like, I want to play. And I am Chanel. I'm an educator. But I am like a professional Googler. Like, I like to Google everything, and I love Google. Yeah.
Cool. I am Nadia. I am a family nurse practitioner within the medical field. Something fun about me is I like to dip and dabble in a little makeup lately. I've just, I'm kind of thinking that may be a side hustle.
Yeah, and you can
too, girl.
Listen, my 30th birthday, we're going to have to post that picture.
Yes,
That was fine.
put that in my portfolio for one time. Yeah.
So make sure that you stay tuned and see what we have coming up. I know, right? I just want to talk just for the sake of talking right now.
We can actually hear you.
You can hear me, girl.
Finally, raise the roof.
Won't he do it?
You do sound fine.
All right. Well, welcome to the very first episode of Brunch with Besties. I am your co-host, Sherry Renee, and with me I have co-host
Lakeisha.
And Chanel.
And Nadia.
Yep, and we are here. So today's episode is about what it's called What About Your Friends? So hopefully you're going to learn a little bit more about us and hopefully a little bit more about yourself and the friends around you. So we're going to start off with a toast.
Hey.
So I'm going to start off with a toast to Lakeisha.
Oh.
Toast to Lakeisha for the Evolving Chair podcast and all the great work that you're doing out here in the community, launching your podcast, just trying to, spread the word about mental health in our Black community and making sure that our folks are engaged and involved. And can you also just tell us about the event you have coming up?
Yes, I have a community event coming up this week, Wednesday, the 19th at Capitol Library, where I am giving information as it relates to stigma, signs and symptoms, and treatments within the Black community. So come out and register at Eventbrite at TECGAPCLOSURE.eventbrite.com.
All righty. And do you have a toast? Do you want to toast to someone?
I do. And actually, it's to everybody who's out there grinding, doing what they need to do to achieve their goals, whether that's being the best mom, wife, mommies to be, husbands to be, going back to school, business owners, podcasters. So shouts out to you all.
Shouts out to y'all.
Awesome.
Chanel?
Well, my toasts. I'm going to give my toast to Everyday Media. Hey, Dooch. So,
shouts out to him.
Yes. He is definitely grinding it out, doing several podcasts, including ours. So thank you for having us in your studio. We definitely appreciate the love.
And Miss Nadia.
Yes. So I'm going to toast to myself, I guess.
Okay.
And I guess kind of to all of y'all, too. But y'all know how I am with time, right?
Yes.
I'm late. But today, praise the Lord.
Look at God.
I was on time.
Won't he do it?
Yes.
Shouts out to you.
Listen.
Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and break bread. We're going to check in. So, Chanel, what's going on, boo?
Y'all, okay. So I am teaching summer school. I don't know who told me to teach summer school, but it's been a little rough. So I'm kind of stressed out because I go through summer school until the end of next week. And then I start my new job. I'll be teaching kindergarten at a new school, and it starts the following week. So I don't really have a summer, so I'm really salty. And I know for those people who, work through the summer, they're probably like, well, you spoiled anyway. Like, okay, you off over the summer. But for me, it's just like I really value my summers. Last summer, I didn't work. So this summer is really like, what? I got to go to work every day? Like, what's going on? So I'm a little stressed out this week, and I'm looking forward to summer school ending. And I'm looking forward to our mini girls trip that's coming up. So, yeah.
I'm super excited about that.
Okay, Nadia, go ahead, break bread.
I think I'll talk about the Brewers game. I was briefly talking to them
You
about
have on
it.
your Brewers attire.
Yes. I don't know if they won last night. I think they did, but I left the game early.
But you looked around and we don't know. I don't know what's happening.
But you have on everything Brewers, like
Yes. I mean, they were doing pretty good prior to us leaving, but I went to the game because our job gave us free tickets. And I've been trying to be more involved at work because, unfortunately, I'm the only African-American provider. So I'm like, well, let me just give it a chance and just see how things go. And we went, and I was the only African-American one there. So, and it was, I guess I shouldn't have been shocked because
it's Brewers.
Right,
yeah,
right.
It's a baseball game.
But this was from clinics all over, the area. So I kind of was hoping that maybe it was somebody else, but it wasn't. And I don't know why it gets under my skin so much, but sometimes I just kind of feel like, why is this the case? Like, I'm tired of being the only black one.
Right.
So I'm just kind of dealing with that, trying to get myself together.
Listen.
So,
I'm in the same boat.
That's what's due for me. Yeah.
That's cool.
And Miss Lakeisha.
Man, my check-in. So things are going great.
That's good. That's always a good thing.
Won't he do it? Come on.
I'm hearing the stories and like, I'm not stressed. Right. Well, stressed in a good way,
Yay.
Just trying to get my business podcast, community events up and running, and getting the information out to us black people. I won't be politically correct.
Right. No, that's right.
I can just say the black community. So yeah, just things are going great, I ain't got nothing.
That's awesome. But you said that on one of your episodes, or one of your sessions, on your podcast, that good stress, we need that. We need that sometimes. So I'm glad to hear that you having that good stress. Yeah. I'm having that bad stress.
Yes. Oh, it's okay. We're gonna get it stressed.
We're gonna work it out. Right. We're gonna work it out.
And for me, I'm actually over here with Lakeisha. I have that positive tension because I recently found out that I have a new position. So I'm excited about that.
Yes.
So my stress is really trying to offload my current work to my replacement and then just getting up to speed in the new role. But I'm really excited about that. Y'all know it was part of my plan for 2017.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited about that. And then I also have some more positive stress because I have to go sit for another exam next week. So as you guys know, I'm working on a couple certifications. So this will be exam number 4 out of 5.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do it? So, just keep me in y'all prayers.
You got it. You got it.
Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. Like I said, today's topic or today's episode is it's called What About Your Friends? So let's, give a little background about ourselves. So Nadia, can you tell us how did we meet? Let the listeners know.
Wow.
It was a long time
Let's
ago.
Take a stroll down memory lane. Well, Sherry and Lakeisha and I met back at Greenfield Montessori. I don't think it stands anymore, but
no, it's Fernwood.
Shout out to the old Greenfield. Shout out to Montessori schools. So that's where we met, and we knew of each other back in maybe K4, first grade, things like that, because the school was from K5 all the way up to, or K3, all the way up to 8th grade. So we knew of each other, but I think we kind of got close around 6th or 7th grade.
Right. Yeah.
So I think our friendship is maybe about 18-ish years in the making. Yeah. So that's where we first met. And then Miss Chanel over here, Sherry and I met Chanel at a pre-college program, Upper Bound, and that was when we were around 14. Yeah. So we're about 16 years in the making. And then, of course, Lakeisha and Chanel became friends because they had mutual friends. So
And they went to high school.
And we all went to the same high
Exactly.
school. Yes.
Exactly. So yeah, we got some history there.
Got a lot of history there.
Yes.
Okay, so Lakeisha, tell us, why is our friendship unique, or what makes us different? Because, you know, people are always like, y'all are some really good friends. How can I get in y'all circle? So
Yeah.
what's that all about?
We've actually had that. People were like, can I fill out an application to join your group? Like, how can I get down? So, yeah.
Man, what makes us unique? I think just each of us brings something individual, whether it's our personalities, our values, even our household culture. Yeah. Yes, we're all Black women, but our culture in our household was different for all of us. But that core, that binding thing for us is God.
Won't he do it?
Yeah,
So I think when you have that commonality of him, it's easy enough to draw people.
Yeah.
And I think that's just what makes us unique.
I would agree.
I couldn't say it any better.
I agree.
So, Chanel, tell us, what roles do we play?
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
Now, this is a disclaimer. This is according to Chanel.
Exactly.
So
I mean,
we may not agree.
It is. But I feel like I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit it out the park. But okay, so I'm gonna start with Sherry. Sherry is, I want to say, like the mastermind. She definitely kind of holds us accountable for our actions. Like if we ask her for advice, she's like, okay, I'm holding you to it. And she, she follows up with that. And I think when we are having like issues or something, I feel like she's definitely there. She's that Aquarius where she kind of takes on what we're going on, and she's that like super friend. That's what I would categorize Sherry as. Lakeisha is like the mama of the group. She definitely holds us down. She gives us that comfort, that peace in our group. So Lakeisha is the mama of the group. Nadia is, I said this before, and I'm going to stick with this. Nadia is the guinea pig of the group. Nadia has done everything first. Anything that we have tried to achieve, she did it. She like, y'all ain't there yet. I did it. So she's
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. So she, and we aspire to that. Like we look to her for answers. She doesn't have all the answers, but she's definitely a great example for what, we're trying to achieve as far as like relationships, career, anything. Like she does a good job of being that example for us all. Me, Chanel, I'm the the fun one. Like I'm just me. Like I'm out here. I'm kind of like the groovy, peaceful one. And I'm like dancing in my seat, but y'all can't see me. But that's totally who I am. I'm definitely trying to keep the peace and keep our group fun and active. And I think that's the role I play. But I kind of think if you look at us as like Spice Girls. So I was thinking of this last night. So if you look at us as Spice Girls, so this is just a silly one. So I'm gonna say Nadia would be Scary Spice because she's nice. She's nice, Nadia. But if you get on her bad side, she coming with them claps, honey. She will come for you. So I would say Nadia would be Scary Spice. I would say I would be. No, I would say Lakeisha would be like Baby Spice. She's really like calm and comforting.
And sweet.
Yeah, I really think that you would be Baby Spice. Sherry, I would say you would be Posh Spice because if you all can see what she has on right now, you would be like, yes, like she came correct, honey. She's always like put together. If we don't see Sherry put together, it's like, like, are you okay? Like, what's happening? So she's always very well put together. And me, I would say I'm more like Sporty Spice, that cool, like collected one. So yeah, I love Spice Girls. So I had to throw that in there.
All right, cool. Good job.
I love that.
I think you did a good job.
Yay, see?
We're not going to ask you to retract any statements. So there we go.
There we go.
Okay, y'all. So I was looking at this article about friendship. So I just want to get y'all take on it. But basically, it listed 10 types of friends that you need to avoid. So I'm going to list them quickly. One is the one-upper. So the one who, no matter what you do, I got to be one better than you. Just to let you know that, you ain't got nothing on me. Then it's the people who don't listen, right? So they call you, they talk all about themselves, but they never really check in on you. They never want to, it's kind of a one-sided type of thing. Then it's the fake friend. They cool in front of your face, talk about you behind your back. Then it is the better than complex. So for some reason they think that they are literally superior than you. The friend that always got excuses. Oh, I can't come because I can't. Just say you ain't coming.
Right. Exactly. You say, who gonna be there? You not coming.
Right. The one that's only around for fun but never there in any of, they're more of a seasonal friend. If you good, we good. If you ain't good, I don't want to have anything to do with you. Then it's the one that'll ditch you as soon as they find something better to do. Ooh. So, yeah, I'm going to go with you. I'll go to the game with you, Nadia. Cool. Girl, he just called, so gotta go. Right. The bully, the one who always wants to kind of make you the butt of the joke, or they're always kind of talking about you negatively, but never in a constructive way. And then the one who's always expecting to get something back. So, remember I did that for you. What you gonna do for me?
Right. Now it's time to pay up.
Yeah, pay up.
It's crazy.
So what are y'all thoughts on that? Have you guys ever experienced those types of friends?
I honestly don't think I have, because they wouldn't be my friend if they, fell on that list. So I think you see those things quite clearly. And those might be like associates, people who, you might kick it with once or twice, but they're not really your friend per se. So I would say I don't think I know any of those, or I don't even think I'm kicking it with anybody like that. Like, I feel like the people who I associate myself with are pretty genuine, and I feel like those people on that list, I mean, if it's you, it's you, but I feel like I don't want to associate myself with anybody who might fall in that list.
I know that I have. So I was kicking it with this group of friends, and everything was cool. And, I kind of started to tell them some things about me, kind of confide in them. And then there was this one situation where in another conversation, so we already had this conversation. And then, weeks later, they wanted to kind of like throw it back in my face. And from that point on, I was like, yeah, I'll be cool. And hey, how you doing? But I can't kick it with you on that level. And it's funny because I was talking to another friend about this. Shouts out to TNT, my Telena. I was talking to her about this the other day. And she was saying how, if I tell you something in confidence, the only other time that it should be talked about is if I bring it up.
Absolutely.
And I was like, girl, you better preach.
That was a word. Absolutely. That was a word. But I'm just going to say, like, you don't have no other friends, okay? We your only friends. I just want to keep that clear. I was just kidding.
Yeah, so I think for me, when I come across people like this, like, I think we all do these things at times.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. You know what I mean? To be fair, right? So nobody's perfect. But if you're constantly that person, then I'm going to reclassify you.
Absolutely.
And put you in a different, maybe you become an associate.
Yeah, because it's levels to this friendship thing.
Yeah,
So,
it is.
Yeah.
Right. Do you guys think that you've ever been guilty of doing any of these things?
I have to agree with you, Sherry. I think it goes back to at some point in time, whether we realize it or not. And maybe we do it unconsciously. But I think I probably have been. I can't pinpoint like a certain example, but I'm pretty sure because I'm not a perfect friend all the time.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure I probably have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Especially the one that kind of struck with me most was a friend who has like something better to do. So y'all know me. Like, if I'm dealing with a guy, he might trump y'all sometimes. But I definitely like, Sherry kind of mentioned her, vision board and things that she wanted to accomplish for the year. And that's always something on my vision board. How can I be a better friend? Every year I'm thinking about that and I'm holding myself accountable. How can you be a better friend? So when I was like dealing with a guy, like if y'all was like, oh, let's come do this or we're doing this, I was like, okay, I got to go. Like even if I'm a be late or whatever, but I still have to go be there for my friends because they come first. They've been there through all these breakups, so I can't keep putting them off for a guy who may or may not be there.
Right. Yeah, I think we all have definitely exhibited some of those qualities, but I think being that we've been friends so long, we've kind of had the opportunity to learn from from those mistakes and grow from them, and that's what kind of makes our friendship so strong.
I think it also goes back to the intention. So even if you may have done these things, it's like, you know what, she was tripping.
Exactly. Yep.
But I know my girl, you know, so we'll talk about it later.
Right. We gonna tell you about yourself. And it's that trust that's built up. Like, we trust each other to be like, okay, I know my friend might be, you know, not being her best friend right now, but I trust her and I love her on top of anything. That, you know, I'm gonna let her slide, but I'm gonna let her know about herself.
Right. I'm gonna tell her about
Listen.
Okay. So then that kind of brings me to my next question. Why do women betray each other?
That is a very good question. So I'm gonna take it way back to
into
slavery.
time.
Come on.
Okay.
Mama Lakeisha.
And I say that because we had that divide, that separation from the house slave to the field slave. You know, you fair skinned, light skinned, you was in the house, of course, dark skinned, whatever. You're on the field. And you know, I think it was the insecurity of those field slaves to be like, so you think you better than just because you got this pretty hair or you look close enough to master.
Exactly.
You know, which has transitioned down, you know, through history in itself, as well as with us. I think we kind of naturally encourage like men to be competitive.
Right.
So when we are competitive as women, it's like, wait a minute, that's not cute.
It's not.
You shouldn't be.
Right.
And so when we do see other women doing good, we project our fears on them because we're insecure and we don't know our worth. But if we transition to know our worth and our value that we bring, we can be each other's cheerleaders and celebrate for each other.
Right.
So I think that's what lead women to betray each other, because they aren't secure with themselves and they don't have that confidence.
That's good. That kind of ties up everything that I was thinking, because insecurity was like the one word that I was going to use. So I'm glad that you highlighted that.
Okay.
I'm sorry. So when you were talking about that, it kind of made me think about the song "Flawless," and you know Beyonce has the excerpt.
That's a good one.
And I don't want to butcher her name, but I'm gonna try to say it.
Spell it, girl.
I'ma just spell it, child, because I don't want to mess up this name. But it's CHIMAMANDA. But she's an author. She's an African author, and she's a feminist. So she's written works about how women can be feminists. But I think one thing that she said was a lot of women are going against each other for the praise of men. So we do it, you know, we are not, you know, as cohesive as we could be, because we're doing it to please the man when we should be working together, if that makes sense. So I think a lot of that comes from that. Instead of saying, oh, well, you have this going on in your life, and, you know, you have this going on, I'm proud of you. You have this going on, I'm proud of you. You know, I want to help you. I want you to succeed. We're like, well, no, she can't do that because then this man won't notice me, or whatever it may be. I don't know what the case may be, but I think we're doing it for that purpose. When, you know, we don't have to. I mean, I feel like if women kind of get together, we're very, very powerful. I think once we realize that.
I think admiration gets flipped into jealousy, because I think it always starts because it's like you admire what this other woman is doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But instead of you processing that in the proper manner, you then switch it. Oh, well, she ain't, you know, she ain't all of that. You know what I mean? And it's like, let's just face it. Like, you really admire her, and that's okay. You know?
That was dope. Yeah, that was a good point.
That's very true. But it's so funny. I was listening to something that Iyanla said, and she was saying, it kind of went back to what you said, Lakeisha, where she said that really we're exhibiting self-hatred. It's she's saying, I see in you what I refuse to see in me, type of thing. She was talking about how it's the mind of the oppressed people, right? Yeah. Because we've had to compete. And it's basically saying, if I get it, or if you get it, there's no room for me.
Yeah.
When in actuality, that's not true. Yeah. And it's crazy because right now, you know, me being at work and things like that, my experience with men, like if I'm working on a project with them or whatever we're doing, they'll always tell me, oh, you're doing so good. This is great. This is great. This is great. They'll tell my boss. They'll tell my director. They make sure everybody knows. But women are so ugly, and not all of them.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But a lot of them, the only negative experiences that I have had in corporate America have been with women.
Wow.
Like literally, if they did something wrong, they'll flip it and try to put it on me. Like, oh, Sherry didn't get back to me. You just gave it to me yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, what? Hold on.
We went. I know what
minute.
you're talking about. We went in on that for a long time.
Yeah. Because I told you that example, and I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, but hey, it's what we do. So do you guys think that you've ever done that? That you've ever exhibited that and put that on another woman? Like that hatred and that negativity?
Most definitely. I have. You see somebody else accomplishing what you're striving to do. And like you said, at first it's like that admiration piece, but then it becomes that jealousy and envy of it. And you're like, well, dang, why can't I do it like this? Why can't I get it as quick as that? When you just got to realize that maybe that ain't your path or your journey.
Right. Absolutely.
And do you really want to go through what she went through to get to where she at?
Right. Exactly.
So I'm almost positive that I have.
Right.
I've experienced that.
Right. And I think for me too, it's just realizing that you only see a piece of what people have. Yeah. So, and you only see you kind of focus on what you're missing.
Right.
So you're focusing on one area that you're missing. You see that they have it, but you don't know what it took to get it.
Exactly.
Right. And we were talking about how people, when they post on Facebook and social media, they only post the good side, right? So, for example, if I go take this exam and pass, right, it might be like, oh, pass my exam. But if I fail, honey,
you ain't know it.
Y'all probably never know.
We won't even know you went. So, yeah. Absolutely.
So just realizing what it takes to get there. And that's why I think it's so important to try to connect with those women and really get a good understanding. Because sometimes you think you want something that you really don't even want.
Right.
That's
true.
very true.
Oh.
So one of my other questions was, do you think that you can genuinely be friends with a woman of another race?
I think so. I think you can.
At the same level that you are.
She's like, let me clarify. At the same level.
Okay. Right. Because, there's different levels of friendship. You have your acquaintances, your confidants, your besties, your inner circle. Like real transparent, not holding back. This is who I am. I'm not, I'm not going to be politically correct, right? I'm saying it how I mean it. With women or with people of another race?
I think so, because you think of interracial dating, marriages. At some point, both parties have to be upfront about their struggles in their culture and be accepting of what the other may have gone through culturally. So I think we can be. I don't necessarily have sister friends of another race. And maybe I just really haven't been presented with that opportunity because of the field I'm in, unfortunately. A lot of my white counterparts don't get the Black struggle.
Right.
So it's constant teaching and having empathy for our people. But not to say that I won't find somebody who's my colleague that's of another race and we click and she get the struggle and and I can be authentic with her. So.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle with that because I feel like what kind of helps to build a really strong friendship is experiences, So I think of people on different journeys that I've met in life, and if we have similar experiences, we kind of connect. But I think with you ladies, we just have a lot of similar experiences, and that's what makes it so easy to connect. So I'm kind of with Kiva in some sense where I'm like, I'm not sure if maybe I'll experience that, but I think it could be possible.
Okay. Well, that's a typical Nadia.
It is.
Libra. I'm going to weigh both options.
And if I can be completely honest, I was thinking of my trying to conceive journey, and I was in my head like, should I share that or not? Okay. But it's some people that are on that journey that I'm like, we have very similar stories. So could we connect? Maybe now, will it be to the extent that I connect with you guys? I'm not sure.
Right.
You know.
See, I'm going to say no.
Oh, Chanel
me,
trying to balance us out. Go ahead.
I'm just going to say no, because I feel like, so you all brought up a point like experiences.
Right.
So I'm going to say, for me, I mean, I'm not going to say I can't be cool with a person of a different race. I mean, we can be. But as far as like being friends, and being, you know, how we are, I don't think it's possible. Just for the fact that they will never understand how it feels to be a black woman. They don't understand, you know, my hair not done. They don't understand my skin is ashy. They don't like stuff like that. Like we get, or they don't understand how we are the only black people at work, or I use some choice words that white people are not allowed to say. So it's for me. I don't think I could be like my BFF is of another race. Just for me, it'll be hard. But don't get me wrong. I've had coworkers where we were like super cool. I've been in their weddings, all kind of stuff. But as far as like a bestie, it's a no for me, dog. That ain't gonna work.
So can I ask another question? Sure. So say if a guy, of course white or, you know, whatever, was genuinely interested in you and wanting to get to know you, Chanel, and everything you've been through, your experiences. And you know, people typically say your husband is your best friend.
Right.
How would you go with that situation?
Again, I've never dated someone who wasn't black. So for me, again, I would be like, what do we have in common? Like, I just can't see it. Like, you don't understand how to be a black man, and my love for black men is so strong that I would feel like I was doing a disservice to them by even being with him. And that's just me personally. It's nothing against like white men. It could be the greatest guy in the world, but for me personally, I want my husband to be black. Like, I know that for sure. So I don't. It just wouldn't work because I have that in my mind where I'm just like, nah, I just can't.
Okay.
So
This will be a good one to get questions on. I'm thinking of, and I don't want to put her name out there because I don't know if she wants it to be out there, but somebody that we went to high school with, who we were just in contact with like a few weekends ago. But she has a few besties that are not black. I think one is Hispanic and the other one is white. So I'm just interested to kind of hear her take on it. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
To see how she got to that point and, you know, what her experiences are.
So for me, I have friends that are white or not black or however we want to say it. But my inner circle is always y'all.
Right.
And that ain't changing.
Right. Because we only friends.
Right. And you know, when we talk and we speak, I don't censor myself. It just comes out however it comes out, and we'll talk about it later, you know, type of thing. And it's funny because I have a best friend at work, and she's white, and she always says, "Oh, I noticed that you always make sure that you throw in that at work part." And I'm like, yeah.
Let's be clear.
Yeah, we got to draw some lines, honey. Because, but do I think it's possible? My brother's best friend is not black, and they've been best friends as long as we've been best friends. You know what I mean? And but it's funny because I was going to say, as long as I've known my brother, but that's been my whole life.
Right. Same mom, same dad.
Same mom, same dad. His best friend has always been either white or not black. But it started off, I think, because we were at a school where we were the only black kid, so your friend had to be white. My friend at the time was actually the only other black girl.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there happened to be another black girl, and she and I became
and y'all was like
friends.
you guys never
Shouts out to Diamond. Y'all know Diamond.
Oh, yeah.
And then we went over to Greenfield where we met you guys.
Yeah.
But so I think it's possible, but I think there has to be a certain level of understanding. Like, I can't spend all my time teaching you and trying to get you on the same page.
Right.
So, for example, today I was running late because I got pulled over by the police, right? And I sent it to y'all. Y'all know what that means. Now, if I send it to them, they'll be like, okay, you know.
Right,
so
y'all know what I'm saying.
Yeah, because we were definitely like,
we were
need to text her to
worried.
be like, where are you at? What's going on?
What's going
was
on
like,
now?
We can't be like Black
Are
Lives
you
Matter for
recording
shit.
it?
Like, yeah.
Right. Are you recording it? Like,
Right.
what's going on? Y'all
Yeah.
probably took up a prayer.
We should have, but we were very concerned. Like, okay,
Y'all fasted till I got here, honey.
we were scared.
But, it's just things like that. And so I was actually watching this video on YouTube. It was put on by The Scene, and it was called Best Friends Get Brutally Honest About Race. So one woman was black, Tiffany, and the other woman was white. Her name was, I think it was Alyssa. And she was talking about, Tiffany was telling Alyssa how her brother got pulled over and she was on the phone with him and she was really scared. And it's funny because I've had that experience so many times, especially when I was in college, because, we lived downtown on campus. Shouts out to Marquette.
Yes, Kobe. Yes.
And I worked third shift, and he would come bring me my car, and I would drive that same road every time and not get pulled over. And so it got to the point where I told him, you're speeding. You're doing something. Something isn't right. And then one day I was driving and I had my hood up and I got pulled over instantly. And I was like, okay, now I know what's really going on, because I was trying to balance it out and not be so, like, oh, the police, this, and this, what are you doing? Type of thing. But then when that happened, I was just like, okay, I know what it is. And I used to make him put me on speakerphone, and I used to be sitting there just having a fit. You know what I mean? Late at night by myself, sitting at work, having a fit, trying to figure out what's going to happen, and there's been too many instances with my mother as well, where if I say something to her about my brother and the police, everything changes. Her neck, like, she just, it becomes a whole thing. And so Tiffany was explaining this to her white friend Alyssa, and Alyssa was saying, that's so crazy because I feel so much safer when the police are around. And she was like, I really just don't understand that. But the thing about Tiffany and Alyssa is that they really are really good friends, and you can see that, and they can be transparent, and they can really say what they're thinking, and they're really open. Right. Is really what it is. And the other thing that they were talking about was Tiffany was saying, when I come into work, my biggest anxiety is when I have a new hairstyle, because how am I going to explain this?
We have all been there.
So funny. I can recall that.
All been there.
But then I got to a point where it was just like, you know what?
You and me both. And my students are like, how'd you get your hair like that? Well, it's called a crochet and a faux lock. I will school you today, kids. I will let you know.
That's so funny. And so, but Alyssa ended up getting a lot of perspective because she went to Tiffany's birthday party. And so Alyssa was the only white girl at Tiffany's birthday party. And she said, I became so aware of myself in a way that I have never been aware of myself before. And it made me think, like, wow, is this how you feel every day when we're at work? And she was like, yeah, it is. And then she was like, it also made me realize that you have to have so much confidence about yourself to be able to be in an environment like this where you are literally by yourself. Because she was like, if I danced, if I spoke, anything that I did, the way I was eating, like, it just made me really aware of everything that I was doing.
Right.
That's good. That kind of speaks to what I highlighted at the beginning, when we broke bread, saying how I felt. And I had that thought too. I'm like, I wonder how they would feel if they were the only white person at this game and I was here with a whole bunch of black folks just going about my business, having a good time. Like, they would really be uncomfortable. So I'm really glad you brought that up.
That's so interesting that you say that, because I actually at work, I put on an event and it was targeted for our black customers. So I took an event that is historically white, like, not that they were excluding any type of customer, but our white customers were coming, right? And I put it on. I did a lot of different spins. So I changed the music, I changed the food, I changed the liquor, I added different elements to it, and we had our executives come, and we had all the black customers there. And the next day, the executives had a meeting, and they said, we were so uncomfortable, but it was a good uncomfortable, because it made us realize that our outreach is so much more than what we think, and we need to find a way to bridge that gap with that other customer base. So I think that there's a level of positive tension, going back to what Lakeisha was saying earlier, and level of comfort where you have to kind of be willing to be a little bit vulnerable and get outside of your comfort zone. but it also, the other person has to be, somebody's got to reach up and somebody's got to reach back.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, it has to be some give and take. And so for me personally, I think it can happen over time, because really all you need is a commonality, and we're all common with everybody, period. And so like you said, with your journey, there's some people that you're probably going to connect with and be able to speak with about this issue that will understand you to a level that we can't even do it.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, even though we've been friends since the 99 and 2000. But I think it's really just about building connection and being open to that. So, and being that I've witnessed my brother be able to have that, I think I'm open to it.
Yeah.
You know, but I know y'all gonna come for me if I do.
I'm not sure, because I said we can't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, not about the fact of it being another race, but another group of friends.
Oh.
No, yeah, because I am.
Because y'all be acting like I'm cheating on y'all.
That's how we feel. That's how I feel. Let me be clear. That's how I know. I'm just kidding.
Who said, and where you at? Who is you? Actually, it was yeah, I know. So every now and again in the group chat, I'll drop in a video from, what's her name?
Is her name Jazz?
Jasmine Love.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
And it was one where she was on the phone with her friend. She was like, and who are you with? What they doing? Da, 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 da. But she kind of set it up to make you think that she was on the phone with a guy that was jealous of her being with another guy, but it was really her girlfriend that was jealous of her being with another friend. And that's y'all.
All the time. We need to know.
And that is y'all. And so one of the things I want to circle back to Miss Nadia, when did you know that our friendship was real? Like, these are my girls.
And, you know, I think that there were kind of individual incidents with all of you that I was like, oh, okay, I think they're really my friend. But I think the point that really hit me when it was like, okay, you thought they was your friends, but now you really know, was when I was 16 and pregnant, child.
Yes.
When it wasn't cool on MTV.
Not cool at all. It was
or
like
Lifetime. This is before the Lifetime.
All that.
Right. It was like, these girls are in high school coming to baby showers, child, being godparents. It was just like, oh my goodness. So to have my back during a time like that, because obviously that was a life-changing experience. So to have people that are literally there for you through your lows and your highs, it was like, yeah, this is real. This is really real. So that was the first time that I noticed. But, you know, things happen throughout life as well that kind of reinforce that as well. So,
yeah, I agree. I feel like if you've ever made me laugh until I cried, then we real friends. Because that don't happen with everybody. Like, I'm just crying, laughing, like just cannot stop hysterical laughing. That's how I know we like real friends. And I've had that moment with y'all so many times. It's like, even thinking about some of the times now, it makes me laugh. Like, so that's mine.
Lakeisha, any thoughts on that?
you look like you got something.
Yeah, it looked like you wanted to say something.
This will come back to the question, but I ran into a young lady yesterday that we actually went to high school with. Okay. At the store, and she was like, oh my gosh, I was just telling my daughter about you, like, you know, she's going to the same high school. It's so diverse, things like that, like, you used to carry your Bible around, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, I did. She's like, yeah, I mean, you sit off to the side and fast, like, you wouldn't eat with it. I was like, yeah, I did. Dang, you know.
Yeah, she did.
But I think I knew it was real, that despite and not to say y'all don't have a love for God either, but for me being so young and being invested in it, that you guys still stood by me. Even, you know, somebody else could have been like, child, I ain't ready for that life yet. You know, like, I'm still young. And I'm still here today. You know, like, so y'all still rocked with me. You know.
I just want to point out that Lakeisha said, I'm not trying to say that y'all don't have a love for God, but y'all ain't got no love for God.
No. Y'all relationship ain't like mine.
You said, I mean, y'all don't really know.
No, these are some phenomenal women that really love God. They truly do. It's not just in their talk, but in their behaviors as well. So, no, it's not.
And I feel like that's why we need you. Like, you're such a vital part to our circle, because you do have that. And I feel like when you pray, like, when you speak things, I trust it and I believe it, because I know it's coming from an awesome place. So I love that you have that value in you, and I don't want it to change. It's like, I need that spiritual guidance from you, because I am the friend who my walk with God is fairly new. So when you talk to me or you're speaking a word on my life, it's just like, she really loved me. Like, this is from God's mouth to Lakeisha's mouth to my ears. Like, I love that. So thank you. You are who you are. Don't change.
Right, don't change. You know, that's been my theme this whole year. Don't change.
Listen.
As I cut my eyes over at Lakeisha. I think for me, it's been like different moments of time. But one that stands out with Lakeisha is when we were in college, I had broken up with my boyfriend, and so I went, where did I go, y'all? To Nadia's house. Because that's where everybody went.
Oh, goodness.
I don't know how I even got there, because school was all the way downtown, and she was way on the north side. And I don't know. Actually, I do know how I got there. Shouts out to Jeremiah, because he gave me a ride. He did. He gave me a ride. But
Thank you, Jeremiah.
yeah, I think he just like saw me walking down campus, and he was like, I'm going to the north. I was like, okay, cool.
He was so
And you was
awesome.
sad.
And
You was
yeah,
like,
I was
oh.
probably looking real sad. And I moved in. That's what happened. I moved in, and y'all were there, because you know.
Everybody lived with us.
Matter of fact, how come nobody was at school?
Oh, it was summer, right?
It was
Okay,
summer.
that's
Was
the
it
question.
the
I think it was
It was the summertime.
Okay, we'll have to check that. I don't know. But
Yeah, I feel like it was summertime.
But in any case, all of y'all were there, and Lakeisha was down in the basement. And it's funny because I went to Nadia's house because I wanted to be with y'all, but then I wanted to be by myself, so I went in the basement. I don't know, don't judge me. But Lakeisha came down there, and I was sitting on her bed, and she was like, girl, just let it out. And I was like,
That is Lakeisha.
I mean, the ugly cry
Yes.
girl. And then she was like, yeah, you know, and like she held me accountable for my part.
Yeah, that's
She'll do
Lakeisha.
that. So she got me together. She was being a therapist before she was a
therapist.
Therapist, right.
Right. And I think for Nadia, I knew when we literally did everything together.
Yes.
We dressed alike.
Oh,
like
they did,
people,
y'all.
They
yes.
did.
We gonna have to find them pictures.
Oh my
And
God,
post them.
please.
Absolutely.
Jesus.
On our IG. Yes.
I mean, like we had the same everything. Any piece of clothing that Nadia had, I had.
It was
ridiculous. Like we were literally like twins.
right?
Yeah.
Worked at cops together, went to church
Yeah,
together.
we had the same job.
Crazy.
Man, just craziness. And that's how we ended up going to Upper Brown, because we're like, well, whatever we do, I mean, we just have to do it together.
One band, one song.
Right. I mean, like for me and Nadia, it was like, we shall never part, honey.
Right.
So, and it's crazy because even when she got pregnant, like I started gaining weight. I was like, Jesus.
I'm getting the symptoms
Right.
too.
Like, I don't
Right.
understand this. No, but, and then Chanel. It's funny because with you, I knew right off the bat. Because we were both late together.
Yes,
we were late,
which is not assigned to
together.
my character because I'm usually on time.
She is.
But I don't know. But just then I knew that you were fun because I was really concerned about being late. Like I was like, oh my God, like it's the first day. Oh my goodness. And I felt like by myself. And I was like, and Nadia's not even here with me because we lived on different sides of town.
Oh,
And
South
then,
Connecticut.
right. Shouts out to the South Side. But you like made fun of it. Like, oh, okay, cool. Well, we just gonna walk in. I was
Yes.
like, okay. And that is definitely the role that you play. Because no matter what I'm going through in life, anything could happen. You just gonna be like, well, we gonna find a way to laugh about this.
Right. We're gonna make
And
it
I remember
positive.
that one night we were at an event. And it was just me and you, and we laughed all
So
night. Like
every time
my
I think about
face
it,
was
and
hurting.
I said something stupid, and it's still funny to this day. And me and Sherry is in this place dying laughing. Like people are
Dying.
looking at us. We are crying. Like I'm tears,
Crying.
like crying, laughing. Like thinking of it now. I think I said something about my dad. I was like, that could be my
That could
dad
be it right there.
Oh Lord.
It really could have been. I didn't know. But it's funny. Hilarious. So every time I think about it, I laugh about it. Hilarious.
That
So
is
yes,
funny.
anytime I think about any of y'all, I think me and Nadia was in the car. She like braked hard or something. And we like started dying laughing for no reason. It's like laughter. That's how I connect y'all.
It's
Like,
the best medicine.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is. I'm like crying laughing right now. I'm hilarious.
But yeah. So I think that pretty much covers everything that we wanted to talk about
What
in this
about your
episode.
friends?
So we're going to move into dessert and see if anybody has final words. Just final words about thoughts on friends and how to choose good friends, or even how to let some go.
Yes. Well, I think we just got to remember that people are in our lives for a season, a reason, and a lifetime.
Amen.
And don't feel bad. You know, if sometimes you got to cut people off, just take the time to reflect and be like, what did I learn out of this?
Absolutely.
I'm going to leave y'all with that.
So I talk to a lot of young people, being an educator, so I always let them know, you know, birds of a feather flock together. So make sure you're surrounding yourself with like-minded people, and I feel like our circle is very much so like-minded as far as spirituality, goals, everything. So surround yourself with people like that.
Miss Nadia, do you have anything?
Really? Well, I think when I think of qualities of a good friend that I think would be a good takeaway is, for me, I think one of the big ones is trustworthy. Like, I have to be able to trust you in order for us to establish this really good friendship. And then I also think non-judgmental, because I come with some tea, okay? And I need,
Yes, she does, child.
and, you know, I need to make sure that, you know, you guys hold me accountable, but that it's not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's
So,
a difference.
Yes, I definitely appreciate that from you ladies, and I think that that's what other people should kind of look for as well.
Right.
Absolutely.
And then to wrap it up, I'm going to say that Lakeisha invited us to an event, Spirit
Soul, Body at World Outreach.
Outreach. And one of the things that, what's the speaker's name? Arnita. One of the things that she said that really resonated with me is she was like, it's easy to let people go when you understand what their purpose was in your life.
Yes.
That's a good one. Yeah.
And so that has allowed me to kind of make peace with certain situations.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
So that's episode 1.
Yes.
Yay. Thank you guys for listening.
Yes, thank you for listening, and be on the lookout for us all. Thank you for listening to Brunch with Besties. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to shoot us an email at brunchwithbestiespodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram. Our handle is @brunchwithbestiespodcast. For right now, you can listen on SoundCloud. Be sure to review, subscribe, and comment. We appreciate it. Thank you.